Sonic the Hedgehog Free is probably the best addition to the Sonic franchise. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 stars James Marsden and Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic, and Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow, with Idris Elba as the voice of Knuckles the Echidna. Sonic 3 it's better than Sonic 2. It's more fun than both of the first films. It's not an origin story, but it picks up with Sonic's team being called in after a jailbreak of Shadow the Hedgehog, or Shadow, at a government facility. They fail to capture Shadow. Shadow takes off, defeats them all, and they're hanging out where they are met by a government representative who says that there's a key to this super weapon. He gives it to Sonic to protect it, and then they have to flee because some technology from Eggman is attacking them. Somebody shows up to help them. Turns out it's Eggman's assistant, or Jim Carrey's assistant, who does a good role. He does dual roles in this. And then you go back to where Shadow is, or Shadow goes back to where he was held captive originally, where you find out that he kind of fell in love or had this companionship with this one woman. While there, Eggman gets brought in, or Jim Carrey's character gets brought in, and he meets up with his grandfather, his grandpapa, and they have some witty banter back and forth between each other before Ultimate Weapon they end up having to break into, this is the basic plot, they end up having to break into the headquarters in London to get the second half of this key card to save, or to be able to control the Ultimate Weapon, which is this massive ray cannon that goes up into the atmosphere and shoots down and can destroy not just one side, but can destroy the entire Earth. So Sonic ends up having to get the emerald, or the magic emerald from the second film, to be able to go to Supersonic, to be able to take on Shadow. He does this, flies off into the atmosphere, where Jim Carrey, in his two roles as Eggman and Eggman's grandfather, is figuring out that Eggman doesn't want to be the one to destroy the Earth. He wants to run the Earth. So he tries to turn on his grandfather, and Shadow is being misled this entire time, thinking that because the girl that he fell in love with died, that the whole world should be destroyed. So Sonic gets there, has a fight with Shadow. Eggman and Jim Carrey have a fight, or Jim Carrey and both of his roles are fighting each other, and they end up getting rescued by Tails and Knuckles, and then Jim Carrey's character kills off the old one by shooting into space, with the sacrifice of Jim Carrey, or Eggman staying into the super weapon and using it with Shadow and Sonic working together finally at last to move it out of the path of the Earth. That way it just ends up slicing off a portion of the moon. It's not the best description of it, but it is more fun than the first two. It has a good, decisive story, good versus evil, with not really plot points. It's not a paint by the numbers quest hunt like the second movie was, to get to the Master Emerald and then use the Master Emerald to control the world. It's more or less just a little bit of the plot points being the quest to find these key cards that control the Ultimate Weapon. But the main thing is Eggman is seen as a savior in the end instead of a villain, and that's really how the film ends, with Shadow being still alive at the end of it, and you don't know what happens to Eggman, or he appears to have been dead off screen, or on screen. He appears to have died when the super weapon blows up. Other than that, it's something I would recommend if you get the chance to see it. It's a good kids film. It's good for kids to watch. Other than that, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, and have a good day.